I love this. We've talked about this before, but just let's reinforce this again, Dan. Looking for ways to help your store stand out. Try adding some private labels. What are your thoughts here?
Well, Rob, we've talked about this over and over again, and like good parents, we're going to continue to repeat ourselves and never question how many more times we have to say it. We're just going to keep saying it. You need to have private label brands in your store. It speaks to who you are. It allows you to present yourself, not someone else. And I think, I talked about this with a retailer. I'm going to say it was Monday. Might have been Friday. I'm lost on my. Yeah. Oh no, it couldn't have been Friday. It was Monday. Yeah. It was Monday. We talked about, candles, and let's go and curate a bunch of candles. Let's create a private label line of candles. We found a company, that's going to make them for us. We created a label, and that's going to be part of our go forward strategy. Is this 5 cent, 3 size candles that are all private labeled? And this company, that's in this article. They're called Oakwood Outfitters in, I can't remember now where they, somewhere in Texas. Yeah. Texas. They've created a ton of private labeled items. And we used to think of these things as promotional products, right? Coffee mugs and pens and lanyards and just kind of giveaway stuff. But it really does speak to who you are when you start to curate these things. You have your own coffee, you have your own t-shirt, you have your own denim. And we talked about this before, collaborations with your vendors in private labeling something is a good success for you, is a good success path for you. And you need to have these goods. And there are a million companies out there that are prepared to private label something for you. It then allows you to promote yourself. This is about who you are as a brand, not who your brands are or how they're represented. We talked about with a retailer. We talked about how difficult it was, to compete with the retailers, or with the vendors. Okay. They're going direct to consumer. If you're a North Face, carrier, you're competing with North Face as a retailer. If you're a denim provider, you're competing with Levi's or Silver or, any number of these vendors that are out there trying to go direct to consumer. There's very few manufacturers or vendors out there that are not direct to consumer or have a direct to consumer pathway right now. And so you've got to come up with ways to do this. And I believe the retail store, this guy's name was David Bellow. He spoke about how they've grown their business and how the business can stand out, and private labeling is a great way to do that. In addition to adding some comfort brand names to the store, he's adding a bunch of his own private label products. So, when you look at, he's got a caramel mudslide, coffee, or a toasted almond cream coffee right next to, maybe his Black Rifle coffee. And, if you're a Black Rifle fan, that's one of the top coffee brands that, independent brands that people are going after. And there's a bunch of those that are out here.
I like in the story, he talks about that it makes their business not seem like a mom and pop operation. It does. Too. Like stature-wise, it elevates, right? And another great opportunity.
Yeah, Rob, one of the biggest, I think, compliments, I think I ever got, when we started advertising with the Edmonton Oilers, okay. We advertised alongside of every single national brand. And we did things in the old hockey arena that only national brands did. Our billboards, were scattered throughout the hallways, our elevator wraps up to the suite levels. We put ourselves in a place where it looked like we were a national brand and we were a mom and pop shop. But it was about us putting ourselves out there in a way that gave us, this impression of being much bigger than perhaps we really were. And a national brand, somebody that I met at a partner thing, said, "You guys are one store?" Yeah. It's like, I assumed you had 100 stores.
That's cool.
It's like that was kind of the presentation that we had, going into this thing. And that's what you need to do. It elevates your game when you have your own brands. You know, I'm big enough to make my own apparel. I'm big enough to collaborate with, you know, some of the biggest brands in the world. And that's really what David is doing. It really gave them the ability to demonstrate themselves as more than just a mom and pop shop.
Nice. Okay, idea on the fly here. My nickname's Lolly, so I want to start my own candle line after when it burns down, a lollipop exposes itself. How's that for an idea, Dan? The lolly candle. Good stuff.
Yeah, you know what? I think we should throw that in the deck of cards, and
whenever that idea rears its head in the future, maybe we'll look at it then. Right on.